Creative Kill Live!
Welcome to the show where the lights go dim. Albuquerque nights, yeah, it all begins. From the Duke City streets to the ledges we ride. Everybody gets killed on Creative Kill Live. John Roberts on the mic, that's the host and creator. Wolf, Ben, and Dizzy and a squad, no debaters. Happy Anderson in the house, serial killer on the stream. Guests sit down, but they step into a dream. Brooke Smith from the silence, ghosts in the air. Talking Bigfoot stories like they're right over there. True crime echoes while the crowd's alive. Then the lights cut out, it's the end of the ride. Welcome to the show where the lights go dim. Albuquerque nights, yeah, it all begins. From the Duke City streets to the ledges we ride. Everybody gets killed on Creative Kill Live.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Creative Kill Live. I'm John.
And I'm Ben.
And today, Ben, oh my God, man. You and Wolf didn't get to be on this one, but it was really a cool interview.
I bet.
I got to interview the creators. It's James and Vincent Coleman. They're the Coleman Brothers films, just to let everybody know. I got to interview them for their it's our SCREAMBOX. SCREAMBOX, our partners over there. That we love them. They're throwing us all kinds of stuff to help promote.
Shout out SCREAMBOX.
Yeah, shout out SCREAMBOX. If you are not subscribed to SCREAMBOX and you're a true horror fan,
You're missing out, man.
get on that shit.
Yeah,
Seriously,
definitely.
they have a lot of cool stuff. They've got a lot of really neat like SCREAMBOX exclusives. They've got a lot of cool old horror movies.
Yes.
Some of the new stuff too. It's really great. Yeah. But anyway, so I got to talk to these two guys. And Serial is technically kind of what we want to do with No Knock.
Okay.
It's like a micro series.
Okay.
Or at least it started that way, and now it's about the it's about these two serial killers. They follow each storyline, right? But then they kind of come together. And I'm not going to ruin it, but we got to talk to both the stars. And then we got to talk to his name is Mike, and then we got to talk to Stephanie. They're the stars of the series, and I got to talk to the Coleman brothers. I interviewed them by myself. You were on set that day, remember? Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, get ready for this interview because it is awesome.
Heck yeah.
All right. So here we go. Coleman brothers. Stephanie, Mike, thank you guys so much for coming on Creative Kill Live. And here's the interview where the guest always has a killer experience. You guys take care.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Creative Kill. My name is John. Today, my co-host Ben couldn't be with us because he got casted in an Amazon Prime series, and he is out there. But we are joined by the cast of Serial and the creators of Serial on SCREAMBOX, the Coleman Brothers. That's going to be Vincent and James. How you guys doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
Good. I'm just excited to be on with you guys. Man, I started the series. I love it. I'm about 7 episodes in. And obviously, you guys know what happened when we talked earlier about this, but I had to kind of delay. But I picked it back up last night. It's wonderful. All of you guys are fantastic. I just want to tell you. So do you want to go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys, and tell everybody who you are? We could start from left to right or right to left, whichever way you want to do it.
Okay. Is that me first? Mm-hmm. Hi, I'm James Coleman. I am, I guess, the writer and director, one of the writers and directors of Serial. And
Wonderful.
I'm Stephanie Harlow, and I play Mabel in Serial.
I'm Michael Chesla, and I play Harold Newmeister.
I'm Vincent Coleman, and I play Vincent Coleman. But I write and direct with James Coleman over here.
So let me ask you, James and Vincent, how did you guys get started in the? So I'm an actor as well. Okay, I've been in stuff like Better Call Saul, and my most recently thing I was in Ari Aster's Eddington, and so we have a big film hub. We're here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, so we have Netflix out here. How did you guys get started on your film career? And then we'll get on to the talent.
Who wants to take it? James starts first. All right, you gotta get closer. It's a shirt.
so we started, we were just kids. We watched a lot of horror movies. Not really sure why. I guess it's just something that kind of just rang true to us when we saw it. And we liked them and enjoyed them. And we always talked about making a movie. It was always an endeavor we wanted to explore. And when we were like 10 and 11, some of our friends, our neighborhood friends, they had a camera that their grandpa gave them. And I remember I was at home. It was like, we got a camera. We're going to make a movie. And, most kids love superheroes and all that stuff, but we loved Michael Myers. and
Same.
it bordered on psychotic. And funny story, when he went to his prom, the girl's dad was like, "These kids are weird," because they found out we made Michael Myers movies. But so we were 10 or 11 years old, and we made our first Michael Myers movie, which was just us two, and then our two friends, and Michael Myers killing us over and over again. And I guess the real selling point about it was he went through puberty at 6, so he was a full grown man. We were all children.
Jeez.
And then
it's the whole brotherly bond here. I could tell this. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like we used to go to Party City. We went to Party City before they closed every Halloween, and we'd go through the box of Michael Myers masks. And this is back when they were a white mask with orange hair, and we try to find the least crappy one, and we'd pick those out. And then we found our dad's old Navy outfit, which was just a black shirt and black pants. We didn't have a jumpsuit, and that was it. So that was the beginning of a tumultuous journey of filmmaking.
And Vince has been Michael Myers ever since.
Yes, I'm still him every year.
That's great. Every year. So that's going to answer one of your final 3 questions. And what about you, Stephanie?
What was the question again?
I don't know a whole lot about you. Where, like, your bio? Tell us about yourself.
I'm Stephanie Harlow. I am an actor. I have a YouTube channel that's true crime. Also do like supernatural stuff, history, mystery, and I have a podcast called Crime Weekly. Those 2 things keep me busy, and then I act in Serial as Mabel. So yeah, that's I think it's all kind of like on the same wavelength, true crime and horror, honestly.
Right. That's awesome. And what about you, Mike?
I'm an actor. I've been acting for over 20 years. I've done a bunch of stuff. I've done a lot of theater as well. I trade stocks to help me, support myself throughout
I'm
this
at the
journey.
office right now, dude. I'm at the office right now. I'm a private security professional. So I'm sitting here in my office today doing this because we had a big acquisition. So I'm having to be up here, help out and do stuff. So that's great, guys. Well,
Michael has also started at least 3 cults.
Yeah.
3 cults, huh? That's great. Like the girl from Smallville. Anyway, guys. Okay, so here we go. We get into we call them the final 3 questions for everybody, and I'm just gonna make these quick answers since we have 4 of you guys today, and we don't have a whole lot of time. But the first question is, and we're gonna start same way. Let's start from the right to the left. Okay, what is your favorite horror movie?
I would say my favorite horror movie is probably The Thing. But if we're going by horror characters, I'd have to say Michael Myers. And
don't go there. We're going there next. So just a second. But The Thing is awesome. What about you, Stephanie?
I am a big fan of The Ring because it terrified me when I was younger and saw it, and it still terrifies me when I watch it now, which that doesn't always happen with movies you watch when you're younger and then you watch them again and you're like, this sucks. Why did I like this before? But no, The Ring's still pretty creepy.
I'd say The Shining.
Oh, nice. I love all these answers. And go ahead.
Halloween.
It's Halloween, right? Yeah, I know. I was like, it's Halloween, right? All right, then we're gonna go down the line and say, who's your favorite horror villain, guys? Our audiences always want to know.
Michael Myers.
Yeah, we got Michael.
I'm going to say right now Pennywise, just because I have ADHD and we've been watching Welcome to Derry. And so I'm kind of like hyper fixated on Pennywise and learning about the lore and everything. So that's in my head.
I'd like to touch on that a little bit because I'm watching that too. And that last episode, the snail eyes, holy shit.
Right?
I just posted something about that. I was like, my daughter is 9, guys, and she's watching this. Not on my, she's in Dallas. Yeah, but she called.
So my daughter's 8. She's watching it with us, and when the snail eyes thing came on, we were all like, "No, she's not going to cut them off. She's not going to cut them off, is she?"
Yeah,
really well. It's been great. I like it. So Pennywise now because that's what I'm hyper fixated on.
I'd say Buffalo Bill.
Nice. I actually interviewed Brooke Smith from Silence of the Lambs, and she told us some stuff about that. If you ever get a chance to watch that interview, she spent 8 days in that well. They built that well in a set, a sound stage.
It's a B. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's a B&B now. The house that they shot in. It's a B&B in Pennsylvania.
Oh, is that? Yeah.
It's called the Buffalo Bill.
I'd love to stay there. We've got one here. We've got one here called Rose Manor. That's kind of the same way. It's like they shoot a lot of horror stuff in it. Okay, and what about last one? I know who it's going to be. Michael.
Yeah, Michael Myers. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay, guys, and the final question is, what horror movie stuck like rent free, scared the shit out of you? Like even as a kid, it still sticks with you today. Give you a little bit of trauma.
Let me think about this for a quick second.
You got it. I love it.
So again, like I'm going to say Halloween stuck with me because there's something about the combination of the mask, the music, and all that kind of stuff that I guess kind of like sprouted that filmmaking journey, but that actually scared me. Let me think for a second. Is it weird if I say it's a video game?
No, go for it.
So there was a game that came out. Do you remember Twisted Metal?
I do.
So right around, it was right when PS2 first got announced. My friends had gotten Twisted Metal Black, and that's when finally graphics were good. So they would have like the recap stories that would be in like high definition, good graphics, but then the game would be whatever. But there was a character in that game called I think his name was No Face, and then there was a whole story about he was a boxer, and then the doctor that was fixing him up after the fight bet money on him, and he lost. So then he removed his eyes and his tongue, and I remember that just like. It rattled me as a kid, and I used to be afraid to go to sleep because I don't want to close my eyes. But that's probably one of those things. But aside from that, that's Michael Myers.
Yeah, I gotcha. What about you, Steph?
I mean, like I said, The Ring terrified me when I was younger, but also the Blair Witch Project really terrified me because when it came out in theaters, we were all under the impression that it was real. And so you went in the theater, you were watching it, and you were like, holy shit, what is happening? Like you felt like a whole new world was opening up to you, and all the things you believed as a kid about like demons and the supernatural and people under your bed. It was like, oh, this is possible now. So that scared the crap out of me.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that's I still call that. It's the go to found footage. It's the original, the one that got everybody. Because I'm 48 years old. I don't know how old you guys are, but we, like you just said, Steph. I went to a theater to go see it, and we all thought it was going to be like this real depiction of something.
They advertised it like that.
Yeah, and I think I was in my maybe late teens or early 20s when that came out, and it was like at this indie theater in Dallas called the Inwood Theater. It's all trashy and awesome, but I love, and I got to tell you, I'm a huge fan. I know there's not a lot of people that love found footage. I am one of those. Okay, we're actually starting a found footage. Similar to these guys, vertical micro series called No Knock. And so we're starting production in that in December or next month. It's already here. It's crazy. Okay, Mike, what about you though? What movies?
I'd say The Shining and Pet Sematary.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Okay, and then Halloween again.
No, I mean, like as far as something that scared me as a kid, I think it probably was The Fly. Who's that actor in that?
I love that answer. We have never had that answer before. That's a great one.
Yeah, it's something about like the practical effects and the way like the fly was moving and especially that scene where where she pushes him off and his jaw comes off and then he becomes into a fly. Like something about practical effects, like you could kind of tell that they're not real, made it more disturbing. And I remember just like tons of sleepless nights from that movie.
And that's almost body horror, you know what I mean? And just that falling apart stuff, that's a great answer though. I got to tell you, we haven't had The Fly before. That's a really good one. We have so next year we're actually moving this show to California, to Burbank. And we're getting a scoreboard created for the final three questions, and The Fly's going to be on there. Then it looks like, because that's the first time we've ever had that, and I really thank you for saying that. That's awesome, guys. Well, thank you for answering those questions, guys. That was awesome. I appreciate you guys. So now I just want to, now we get into what we call story time, but story time on this is we want to talk about Serial. Oh my gosh, guys, I love this show. I love it. It's funny. It's violent. It's shot really well, guys. I got to tell you right now. So tell me, how did we come up with this idea, guys? And how, just tell me, where did you come up with the idea of Serial? I know you dropped it on YouTube. Is that correct? And then I'm going to let you guys go right now. So tell us a little bit about it. How you, the creative Serial. I'll cut that out.
So, it was all Michael Chase. No, but here's actually how it came about. So we had, during the pandemic, we had made a feature film called The Burned Over District, and that movie did really well. It went to Horror Hound. It won several film competitions, and as filmmakers that had been doing it for so long, and a couple years before that, actually during the pandemic as well, we had shot, right before the pandemic hit, we had shot a film called Halloween Inferno, which was a direct sequel to Halloween 2018, which exploded. It went from a couple hundred views, couple thousand, tens of thousands.
I know what you're talking. That was you guys?
That was us, yeah. And that
awesome,
exploded.
man. I didn't know that.
YouTuber was doing reviews on it, became this big thing. And like, we had met the guys that made the next Halloween. They're like, oh yeah, we all saw it on set. And it was like, you know, there's so many fan films out there, but the biggest thing with us is we're filmmakers now making a Halloween film after all those years of doing our own thing. So we make this film called The Burned Over District, and we're promised the world it's going to make this much money, sell for that much money. And then as all distribution goes, it ends up being, you get nothing and you feel cheated and you're like, wow, so everything I just worked for there goes nowhere. So him and I, we still have that. Obviously, we're always going to have that bug to make things. We're like, let's just make something simple, easy that we can put on YouTube.
Right. And then how did you guys get linked up with, did you link up with Tony Wash over there in SCREAMBOX? Is that who you got, who hooked you guys up?
So we actually met Tony. We actually met Tony at Days of the Dead in Atlanta for the first time when we were there for the Burned Over District, and he saw it and liked it. We just kept sending each other emails and became friends, and yeah, that's how we met Tony.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Does so let's get into Serial. Where did you guys shoot Serial at? Where's the location at?
Oh wait, there was a part I was missing now. So when we said that we wanted to do something easy, we were just like, hey, let's make a little couple minute short, and that ended up being the first episode of Serial. And we had met her like a year before then. We wanted to work together on something. And Vince and I talked, we had an idea of this guy that is killing at a bowling alley because we had a friend that had a location that we could use, which was a bowling alley. And we wanted to make it like really kind of punchy and fast. And then we started talking to him about developing this character, and he had the idea like, okay, what if he has a hair lip and he had a beard at the time, and so we didn't want to shave it. And that's how Harold kind of formed. And then the next idea was like, okay, where can we bring Stephanie into this? And Mabel's there. So when we did the first season of Serial, it was, we shot an episode every week for 10 weeks and put it out that week. So we would shoot it Monday, edit it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and put it out on Friday. And we did that for 10 weeks, and then it started gaining traction. But as a filmmaker, it's very difficult to do that. It's difficult to make things that quickly and put them out on YouTube without them being awful. So then we did the next season where we took more time and, you know, spent more time when they made the episodes longer. And then we eventually combined them into one full season, and we got 12 episodes because the first ones were only like 4 to 5 minutes, or they could be anywhere from like 5 to 12 minutes. And that's how that kind of happened. And yeah, and then we just kind of built from there. And then we've kind of gotten so much in the minds of these characters that we have unlimited ideas. Like, he always has ideas. He has ideas. I do. She does, where they could go. And a lot of it is because Harold is kind of just a combination of Vince, me, and him. And then and Chad, like one of our production guys, is kind of like a weird, awkward kid that dresses funny. And he's kind of also Harold. Great guy, but just yeah, like it's like a never ending thing, because instead of trying to be so scary and serious, we could just, hey, let's just have Harold be us and like how we would act in these situations. Where he's kind of an idiot, but he's also kind of like,
we'll get into Harold in a minute, but I love his character. I love both of them. I love Mabel and Harold. I'll tell you that. I mean, again, I haven't finished it, guys, so don't ruin it for me, because I really do like this series. And I just recommended it to a couple other horror fans here. That's no. I'm gonna blow this thing up. I do this all. I love to help independent horror filmmakers. That is like my thing, is because I worked in the, I guess you would say, so my previous career was I was in the private security world, which I still am, but in Dallas I owned a company with my dad. And we did a lot of entertainment security, which was set security. So for like shows like, do you guys remember a show called Prison Break?
Yeah,
we did security for that.
That's really funny you said that, because I just rewatched it and I got into the third. I just finished the third season. I was like, all right, well, I'm done. This is just getting awful now. Like it really stopped being good.
Yeah, but though that's where I got Prison. We did Prison Break. We did a movie, a series called Queen of the South, and then the other one was and then we did
Was that on USA?
Then we did a lot of it was on USA, and then we did a lot of telenovelas, because Univision and stuff is out there. But anyway, back to Serial. So where did you guys shoot this at? Where's the location?
It's all over upstate New York, like Rochester, Buffalo, Albion. I think we even got out to Seneca. Like it's really everywhere. Like everywhere between here and Niagara Falls, and we just been everywhere. Anywhere we can get locations and stuff. Yeah.
Same here. Have you got? Let's jump on to Serial real quick. I just wanted to know that. So let's jump on to Serial real quick. So I'm going to let you guys kind of get into your characters and tell us a little bit about the series. I don't like to get on here, and we're going to talk about some of the kills and stuff. One of them you guys actually just mentioned about the bowling alley. That's my favorite one, by the way. Mabel, smash. And so let me ask you guys. So when you connected with Stephanie and Mike, and you had these characters in mind, how did you just come up with it? I mean, I know you said that, but the Mabel character, how did you come up with her? What's the inspiration behind her?
Okay, I'll give this one to James because he thought of Mabel.
So Stephanie, being a true crime podcaster and I guess I don't know what you would call that. On YouTube, she does like true crime videos, like breakdowns and all that kind of stuff. And one of the inspirations was Lucy Letby. Is that her name? Mm-hmm. Lucy Letby, who was a killer nurse. And knowing that she's kind of involved in that crime world, I know that she'd have a lot of insight on how a character would kind of act and how to portray them. So my idea was that she would be this nurse that gets fired from the hospital, and then Harold, who lives with his mother who has dementia, is eventually going to need in-home care because he can't part with her. He's not going to put her in a home. So I thought that'd be the perfect meeting of the two. Is like, okay, we meet her, who's basically a disgraced nurse, but he's not going to do his due diligence to find that out because whatever keeps his mom in the house. And then talking to Stephanie about it, and she was like, I think she has the right idea on where that would go and how that character would be, where she's seemingly normal, because Mabel, I would say, is much more cunning and controlled and
better at hiding and having a mask.
Yeah. She's good at she's good at what she does, whereas Harold is kind of just like a sporadic idiot.
Right.
And like I've always looked at it as Harold doesn't want to do bad. He just does without really controlling it, where Mabel intentionally is killing because it's feeding something inside of her, but Harold kind of snaps.
And Harold regrets it.
Yeah, and Harold doesn't want to be bad.
Got that backstory though. She's got that backstory that's kind of doing that to her too, I think, right? It's a little trauma there, right?
We both have trauma, yeah.
Well, I like the relationship between Harold and his mom, because it's sweet, but it's like every single serial killer kind of has the same. You know what I mean? It's like that same MO is like you're living in your mom's basement, or something, like, you know what I mean by that. It's pretty.
Harold's backstory was never the idea in the first couple episodes. We kind of just like let it develop. That's why it's so fun for us. Like every time we did it, we wrote a little bit, and then we're like, okay, the next episode, let's write some more. And then like we would get ideas being on set, seeing how the scenes played together when they were edited, and how Michael Chase, like what he brought to it, because he brought his own ideas and weird things for Harold, and then he just became his own character. Same with Mabel. Like it's
Also, one of the big things too is one of the big things that we had is we originally had Harold's mother, and her name is Marianne, that plays her. And after the first few shoots, we realized how great she was. She's done theater and been acting forever, and she was naturally funny. So we're like, let's just like play this up a little bit, because a lot of people have experience being around elderly people who have dementia. And yes, it's sad, and we start to explore that more in the new season we're working on. But there is also a lot of funny things that go on with that, with these like little mistakes or little like lacks of memory that, you know, add a lot of humor to it. So we
like the fact that the house is always decorated for Halloween, and then she thinks that there's trick-or-treaters, and Harold's like it's Easter or whatever.
She's a hoarder. She's a hoarder because of, you know, she had a traumatic past as well with her husband. So she's a hoarder. That's the way she copes with her, you know, psychosis. So,
and that's also something. So the film that we did called The Burned Over District, Michael here plays a cult leader, and he was adamant that the cult leader has a mom that lives in their foundation that they live in. And we were like, okay, we're not going to do that because it's adding too much. So then when we came about this one, we gave him the mother character finally he wanted.
Yeah.
He wants a mommy.
Yeah. I've known her for over 20 years and she's great. So I had to get her in. She's 84 years old too. And she knows all her lines. She's got a lot of energy. I've never encountered someone that age that has so much energy.
She's the only one that does.
You know what, Mike? Hold on one second, guys.
She knows her lines better than I do.
Right. You know, what's crazy is because I just worked with the lady I was on. I can't tell you, but it's a Netflix series. But she was 83 and she knew everything. She knew her lines, just bam, bam, bam. She was really good. Awesome. Well, I want to talk to some of the talent real quick. Hold on one second, guys. I'm getting an orange light here. I'm just going to see troubleshooting. Okay. We're good. It's just a little bit of my internet. Real quickly. So yeah, let's get in. I want to talk to Stephanie and Mike. Stephanie, I know you're a true crime podcaster. You said that, right? What was it like getting into the character of a serial killer? I mean, were you excited about it, or did it kind of mess with you? Because I'm going to give you guys an example. I have an actor friend. His name is Happy Anderson, and he was in Mindhunter. You guys see that series on Netflix about the serial killers? He played Jerry Brudos, and it kind of screwed him up a little bit. You know, the way they made him do some stuff as an actor. He even talks about it in the interview. He says, the intensity of playing a character like this, and then having just to go home and see your wife, and you know what I mean? It's kind of intense. What about you, Steph? I mean, tell me first. How do you like playing a character like this?
So it sounds like your friend is probably mentally and emotionally healthy person. So doing those kinds of things would probably be like, you know, jarring. But because I do true crime, and I have done true crime since I think I started my channel in 2018. And for the first few years, you're absolutely devastated. And just, you know, you walk out from doing it, you see your kids and they're happy, and there's like sunshine outside, and you're like, what is this? You know, and it's very jarring. But then you eventually sort of learn to adapt, and you compartmentalize. And I don't think I was ever a super healthily, like, emotional person to begin with. So there's already a level of, in that case, I think horror, when you have a lot of anxiety, and they've done studies to prove that people who have high levels of anxiety, they actually find, I guess, comfort or familiarity in the horror genre. So it's almost like, you know, I think that horror movies and the horror genre are far less terrifying and far less scary than the things that happen in real life. So I almost find it
all the time. I say that all the time. We actually have a segment on our show when we do in studio called Helping with Horror, because I highlight either some kind of charity or something, because there's real life horror, like with the California virus hit. We helped raise money for that. You know, this last SNAP thing that's been going on. I don't know if you guys are familiar with New Mexico, but we are one of the poorest states in the union. There's a big Native American community here, and you know, they're taking away from that. And so there's real horror in this world, especially with the wars and all this other shit that's going on. And that's why I always try to do a positive message behind this. But I'm kind of with you, Steph. It's like, it's never bothered me. I could always play the killer. I could always do that. And then I do have actor friends that are like, how do you get into that headspace all the time? And I'm just like, I don't know. It's just
that's where I live. Yeah, I stay in that headspace. So it's
right.
not hard. It's cathartic in a way of, and I mean, my favorite video game is Dead by Daylight, and I always play the killer. Because why would you play a survivor? I'm a survivor in real life. I'm going to be a killer.
No fun.
It's like, it's like taking your power back, like, okay, in the real world, horrible things happen to people and you can't control them, but in this fake world I can control what's happening. And psychologically it's not difficult because I research serial killers, so I know their psychology, I know their motivations, their childhoods, their backgrounds, the things that have happened to them that form them. So it was very easy to kind of add that texture to Mabel.
That's great. Now, Mike, let's jump over to you. And how did you like getting it? Well, obviously you've already played a cult leader, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, I like playing, the antagonist, as much as possible. So, but Harold, like James said, he is a good guy at heart. He just snaps and he like blacks out and then he regrets it. So, and I think what makes Harold scary is that he could just be, the guy you see at the checkout lane at the grocery store, or, the guy, your neighbor down the street who waves, when you go,
I've met Harold a million times. You know what I mean? I've met a million Harolds out there, and it's just like, you think, oh, this guy's a really nice guy, blah, blah, blah. And then I've seen it. I mean, in the world that I worked in before this, I worked in the crime business, and you see that with some of these really, really nice guys, and then they just snap, and it all of a sudden, and we hear that from serial killers as well.
Oh yeah. Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, polite, intelligent,
right.
all that, and you just can't believe the things they do, and so I wanted to make Harold relatable. I didn't want him to be some, cardboard cutout villain. I wanted him to have depth. So.
Well, you definitely did a great job on the character, my friend. That was, I mean, like I said, I'm only through a certain amount of episodes. I'm going to finish it this week because I've got to go on a road trip to go pick up my daughter for Thanksgiving. So there's going to be a lot of time for me in the car between here and Dallas, And so,
yeah, and I think the details are important. The details,
absolutely.
Like head to toe, and just the way he dresses. Every shirt I picked out for every episode, I would pick out deliberately. I'd go to a thrift store and try and find the most unusual or ugly shirt I could find, and just from head to toe, everything is thought out. It's all planned. It's not just a spontaneous thing.
That's fantastic.
You have something to say?
Did you want to touch on something?
I was going to say this. I think the way that we frame the series is that, yes, they're doing evil things and heinous things. And on the news, you always see that, like, oh, this guy killed someone, or this guy did this, or that girl did that. But then when we show you the insides of their lives, they just seem like two idiots. So it's like, yes, to the outside world, because as you'll get further, you'll see like the police come in, and the police are like, man, they're this, they're that. The FBI is involved now in the new season. And it's like, to them, they're these masterminds. But to the audience, and what we really see is they're two idiots that happen to be getting away with all this.
Right. They're flawed people. And that's the way I feel too.
Which is actually so real, because if you look like a serial killer like BTK, he's terrifying Wichita, right, for decades. But in reality, he's a bumbling idiot that just got lucky far too many times. But he's actually not smart at all. So yeah, they're just regular people who have a compulsion, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm not sitting here telling you I've got compassion for serial killers, because obviously they do what they do, but you guys put it, I mean, after the first episodes that I've watched, you put this emotional, I mean, especially with Mabel and the stuff she's going through, being homeless, and she's like just trying to find a place to fucking sleep. And that's what I mean, it's, what I mean? It's like, I don't talk about desperation. They don't talk about desperation enough when it comes to crime, because I've seen it so much. The people, and then obviously you have the mentally ill, right? But it's, and this, you kind of sympathize for both of the killers. I did. I don't know how other people feel, but I did. So I think it gives you
I think it gives you a safe place to have empathy, because in real life you don't really want to empathize with a real serial killer, right? Because regardless, well, I don't know what happened to you. You had a bad mother, you were beaten, you were abused. So are hundreds of thousands of people, and they don't go on to become serial killers. So we can't really have empathy for the ones that do. But in Serial, since they're not really serial killers, you can kind of humanize them and look at them in a relatable way of in like, oh, I get this and I can empathize. But in real life, we don't want to be empathizing with serial killers.
Yeah, plus there's a genetic component too to both Harold and Mabel, genetic reasons for why they're doing. So it's a nature and nurture, like a perfect storm of nature and nurture coming together and just, wreaking havoc,
Yeah, that's great. I love that. So let's get on to some kills real quick, guys. This is my favorite part. Obviously, our show is called Creative Kill Boys. So let's talk to the Coleman brothers here. How'd you come up with your kills? I want to know.
Okay. Well, actually,
the bowling ball is my favorite. I don't want to ruin it for everybody, but the bowling ball is my absolute favorite.
Yeah, that was never supposed to happen. That day, we were actually supposed to film that scene in the parking lot where she sees the car parked there, the security guard, and that didn't happen because, it was raining, hailing, whatever it always does here in upstate New York. So we had to rechange the whole scene to be in the interior, and the bowling ball was a last second thing. Like, what if we tied her up and But actually, that's been like the theme. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm listening. Go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off. My bad.
Yeah, that's been kind of the theme for a lot of this. Like, actually, the first episode where Harold bashes the woman with the bowling pin, it was actually supposed to be a bat, and then we saw a bowling pin sitting on the counter of the bowling place we were at, and then we're like, what if he hit her with the bowling pin? Like, wouldn't that be cool? And then and then some other ones were really thought out, but that's what's fun about Serial is like sometimes we can make last minute adjustments and it works. There's a lot of things that work in this whole season that are just last minute, improvised stuff. Yeah,
that's fantastic. I got to tell you guys real quick, coming from a law enforcement and private security background, when she handcuffed Mabel in the front, I was already like, bad idea. I know what's going to happen there. You know what I mean? Because when we go to training, they teach us that in law enforcement and private security training. I didn't do the typical private security thing. We did like stuff that was, I guess you would say contractors, mercenary kind of contractors and stuff. But then we did some really bad things or bad places in the United States. I was at Katrina for 2 years. So, but I always tell them, I'm like, I've actually seen guys where they handcuff people in the front, and guess what? What happens is exactly what happened with Mabel. So they just get you, or they can run. It's a lot harder to run behind your back. But then the bowling ball gets just that scene. I was just like, holy shit, we're gonna do this, and it happened. I love it, and you guys keep the kills really good. I love it. I love. That's the reason why we call the show Creative Kill, because when I was a kid, that was my thing. It was like my first one was when I saw Jason hit the girl with sleeping bag, bam, against the tree, and I was like, whoa, Creative Kill. And then that kind of started this whole thing with us. So what are you guys expecting? You just said this earlier. Are we getting a Serial season 2?
So there's actually two things I want to touch on. Back to what you were just saying about the kills. Okay. A lot of times when you're filming something, something that might look, when you look at it, it'll feel funny and you'll laugh and be like, wow, this is gonna be hilarious. And then you put it on a camera and you watch, you're like, this is actually really disturbing.
Yeah. Like
Harold
jumping
when
we did Harold jumping through the cornfield, we got
right.
It was really funny, but then we watched it and I'm like, that's creepy. That's really creepy,
It's creepy as shit.
Or like when Harold kills his school friend and he wears his face, like we were laughing the entire time we were shooting that, but then watching like this is actually pretty demented. But I think that's where horror.
I wanted to kill a couple of my school friends, though. I'll tell you. Go back in my life as an actor, I'm like, what are you doing? No, just kidding. But anyway, go ahead.
So actually, to talk about that, so we are actually actively working on. We've already finished about 5 episodes of the next season. All those episodes are longer, more budgeted, better. So we're really like stepping in our game. We really know the characters, and we're doing some really fun things with them. And when we say we've done everything low budget and ridiculous, like we bought a Winnebago, that barely runs, and we got it for really cheap. And there's a Winnebago element to it. Just a lot of goofy things that we've been doing with this season, what we're really excited about, and it definitely revs everything up 100%. The kills, the storyline, where the characters go, a lot of funny stuff too. But yeah, I mean, we're excited, and there is another season coming.
Yeah, honestly, we just got finished with probably the most gore. We have a crazy story, actually. I'll tell it really. I'll tell you really quick.
I love it.
Should I tell the story?
Which story?
Okay, so we killed. Speaking of creative kill, the way we just killed someone is probably the most violent kill in all of the show. But where we were filming it was a very strange location, which I'm not going to say. But that was like, for some reason, that was like probably like 50 people upstairs, and there was a lot of floors. Yeah.
I don't know how much detail.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you too much detail. But let's just say
don't get into too much detail. I got it. I'm a filmmaker too, guys. You don't.
Right. So it's some isolated place.
It's an isolated place. And if I can describe the owner, just imagine him. Like, we even have a picture of them together, like a cult leader. And it's an abandoned place that's tax exempt. I'm not going to get too much detail on that. And it's near the water. I don't know where.
Yeah. It's literally, there's no gas station within half an hour.
Like, think Ruby Ridge.
Wow.
So
okay.
Nice guy. Don't get me wrong. But people live there to live there now. And it's not an apartment. It's not a hotel. It's something else. But people have made rooms there. And we're there filming. And we'll maybe post this at some point. But it's now like 11 at night, and we're getting into, you can start getting to the nitty gritty stuff of when you're filming. And suddenly we start hearing wild chanting coming from upstairs, like it's echoing and reverberating through the entire building.
Running. So they'll chant, they'll screech, and then running, and then they'll go back to the chanting and the screeching.
They're cheering on, like,
and we could not make out any of the words they were saying. Like, it was either in a different language.
It was like Latin for sure.
And it was like
a lot of it was Latin.
Screams of horror and everything, and we didn't know what the heck was going on. But we were all looking at each other like, do we need to go, guys?
Yeah, because we were in the basement.
We all felt something like, this is like something we shouldn't be hearing, and maybe we shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Are we in the horror movie?
One of the crew guys was getting chest pains. He's like, I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack.
It was a weird
We thought we were gonna get locked in. At one point, the door is really heavy, and we thought one of our crew members was like, I think we're locked in, and we're like, what's gonna happen now?
Here's where it gets even better here. So then that went on for like a few hours. Then out of nowhere, it's just dead silent, completely silent. And we're in the midst of filming, and then the owner comes down, and he's like, so now is our quiet time. We're like, wait, what do you mean? What happened? Why is it quiet time? So then, he tells us it's quiet time.
The Kool-Aid had already been consumed.
We didn't mention, too, it's freezing in upstate New York, but there was all these people camping across the street.
Oh, before they were inside shrieking and running around, they were outside in the woods shrieking and running around a fire.
Yeah. It was literally like the burned over district film that, it's literally.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
We
got some recordings of it. We got recordings, and we tried to put in like a program to like clean up the audio and like try to transcribe it. And no program works. We need the FBI for this.
The computer just started on fire.
Yeah, the computer just like.
We've had a lot of weird
That's
things.
awesome.
Well, the B&B story with the record player. There's this haunted Airbnb that we shot at. And we're in the middle of shooting, and all of a sudden the record player goes on.
Some weird 30s, 1930s song.
To get it to go on, there's like the heavy arm needs to come across, and you need to hit a switch, and it just starts playing a record.
They do a lot of ghost hunting stuff there too, so it's definitely got some history.
They've done like 5 different
like the
shows.
Owner actually came out, and she's like, "What did you guys do?" And we're like, "We didn't even touch the thing. Nobody knows how to operate this." And she was even like, "What?"
Yeah, it's complicated. You have to do 3 different things to get it to go on. You have to move this heavy arm.
Oh my gosh.
The 1930s or something. You have to move an arm over, hit a switch, and it just started playing in the middle of filming, and it was crazy.
Well, they had found a bunch of unmarked graves in the back, like probably like a couple hundred yards behind the house. So
from the building of the Erie Canal, they buried like 19 bodies on the property. So
shit.
Yeah,
it's a movie in its own right.
Yeah, hundreds of people died. Actually, might even be thousands during the building of the Erie Canal, and this is right along the Erie Canal.
That's crazy.
Harold's house is Erie Canal's in his backyard. It literally.
I feel like that neck of the woods where you guys are at, there's a lot of creepy shit. because we're here in New Mexico, very, very creepy, very haunted, but we're desert. And then I'm also the other half of my family's in Appalachia, West Virginia, and you want to talk about some really.
Yeah.
She
She just did like a 3-part series on it. So we do.
Yeah.
Oh, did
You
you
have like your own
really?
language up there too.
Yeah, I do a Halloween during October, and I did a Tales from Appalachia series, and basically,
Did you do
Bell
anything about
Witch.
I'll watch it. Point Pleasant. Did you do Mothman?
I did not.
Because that's
I did.
That's the one. I'm more into like cryptid stuff, and I
Yeah.
love that. I actually went to the festival. It was pretty fun.
What was that?
What about Dogman? Are you into that?
Oh, dude, I'm a werewolf fanatic. That's
All
my
right.
that's my jam, dude.
Perfect.
So yeah, if you guys want
Oh.
to get into that,
Yeah,
I'll come
Montauk.
on your show.
She did an episode about Montauk too.
The decommissioned military base in Montauk. We
Oh,
went
yeah.
out there.
And it's Stranger
We
Things.
broke into the radar tower.
Yeah.
We definitely got bit by ticks.
Yeah.
Oh no, we did. I had to shave my entire body.
They
I was
all
a
have
hairless
Lyme.
cat for a while.
They all have Lyme
It's
disease.
the only way to get those away from me.
Jesus, guys, this
We were
has
thinking
been great.
people are actually Dogmen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was actually one of
At the end, at the
reality
end of the series, they transform into werewolves and run off into the woods.
I'm
They
a
were
werewolf,
dogmen the whole time.
Vampire.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. Well, great. Well, let's jump back real quick to Serial. So again, I just want to kind of wrap things up here, guys, because I'm short for time now. But so we definitely have a season 2 coming. That's 100% confirmed. Okay. All right. Will it be on SCREAMBOX?
We'll see.
That we don't know. That's up to them.
Okay, I just didn't know if you guys had a deal with them or not, how that works. I know that platform sometimes. I mean, I've had people that put stuff up and then they get it. I don't know how that whole streaming stuff is done with them, But I got to tell you guys, I'm going to just go ahead and say this. Talent, you guys were fantastic. You both, Mike and Stephanie, you guys, I love your characters. I think you're both very talented people. I want to tell you guys, I really, really do enjoy the series. This isn't bullshit. I do. But I love horror. And so that's my thing. It's like anything that takes my mind off of it. You know how there's sci-fi people, fantasy people, that's horror. And so I love that. And I want to kind of, that's my alarm. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, guys. I'll cut that out. And then I want to get on to you, Vincent, to you guys, the Coleman Brothers. You guys should be very, very proud of yourselves. Okay. I am a very big advocate for independent horror. All right. It is very tough for us as filmmakers right now, especially in the climate we're dealing with. I mean, I don't know how it is for you guys back there, but here we don't even have barely any work going on, so you got to make your own shit. That's what I tell people. You gotta make the jump. You gotta get out there and do it. Whether you think, there's so many people that are infatuated with equipment and, being with a studio and doing all this crazy stuff. But you know what? You're never gonna get to that top peak unless you start somewhere. And you guys did that. And with this series, I believe that this can go and this can evolve into something. It's already something special to me. I'm just saying it's going to get better and better and better as you guys go with new seasons. And I think the characters are going to get better too. And the kills are going to get better. But I want to tell you guys, I want to ask you real quick, Vincent, or to the Coleman Brothers. We do this little segment called Helping with Horror. Okay. And on the remote segments, I do this for filmmakers. What advice would you give to a young horror filmmaker that's, he's just coming out the gate. He's ready to start, maybe his first short or feature. What would you tell them, guys? Because we have a lot of young people that watch this show. And so go ahead.
I would say this. Don't wait and don't expect anyone to do it for you. If you want to make something, even if it's just shooting something in your backyard or in your living room, use your phone. Nowadays, things are so much more. You have so many more options to make something. Phones have better quality than anything I had when I was a kid, or even like the Black Magic's everything. You can get a nice Black Magic camera for $500 or $600 now. And back when I remember, my first legit camera that I bought was $3,000 and it didn't change lenses or anything. And I really look at it now like this was nothing. But don't let anything stop you from making it. And make something small. It doesn't have to be a giant production to begin with. It just has to be, it could be two characters talking to each other. It could be a guy being crazy in the mirror talking to himself. Just make something so that you can now say, I'm a filmmaker. I've made a film. And that's my big thing. Don't expect anyone to do it for you. Don't join all these Facebook groups and local communities that say that they're going to do this and that, because they're just going to try to police you and stop you from doing what you want to do and keep you in line.
I am so happy you just said that, because that happened to me at the beginning here. I was an actor, and then I started doing filmmaker stuff, and I joined these Facebook groups because that's what I was told, that I could find film people, and they were all fucking horrible. They're just a bunch of bullies. You know what I mean? And I just, and seriously, I'm going to tell you guys a quick story, just real quick, and maybe I'll cut this out or not. But I hired a writer, and she was a format writer, okay? I didn't know really how to write a screenplay at the time, right? But I had the story. She fucking registered my script with WGA for her. She stole my shit. Yeah. Oh, I had to take her to court, and then be my business partner. Oh, I had a ton of people she obviously we had to give up all that stuff, but it's like, and I found her on Facebook, by the way. You know what I mean? It's like, I love what you just said right there, because I have been telling more filmmakers in this town, quit relying on other people that say, oh, I know how to do this, blah, 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 blah. Just get in there and figure it out. Drinking from a fire hose sometimes is not that bad, if you know how to do it. And then just it's a tough this world that we all want to be in right now is so cutthroat, but don't make it cutthroat. That's one of my suggestions. This is collaborate with people that want to do this with you, and find them. It's hard to find them, but when you do, hold on to them. That's what we did. We all connected together, and we're all kind of like, we call it our Creative Kill family for a reason now, because we are truly a film family. And we all work. I mean, I'm doing this right now because film is slow, but I do sound in film, and I do stand-in work, and I do stuff like that. But all of all of the people that work with us on this show, and then we've got a feature that's coming that we're going to produce next year, and then we've got our series that's kind of like your series, this micro drama series that we're wanting to experiment with. But guys, I'm kind of short for time. I want to thank all of you guys for coming on Creative Kill with us.
I want to say one thing really quick.
Go for it. Jump in.
So, advice for young filmmakers. It's not like it used to be where you'd make something and then a production company would be like, this is great, let's give you money, and then we'll make it and it's in the theaters. You need to take advantage of YouTube the way that we took advantage of YouTube. We made 5-minute episodes. We looked for an audience. We found people who related to what we were putting out, who liked it, who wanted to see more. Once you have an audience around your content, now you can either crowdfund or you can take it to a platform like SCREAMBOX or Shudder and say, listen, this already has a built-in audience. People already love it. This is proven. It's A/B tested already. This is what people want. You can also look in the comments of YouTube. I loved this kill. I like this. I like Harold's mother when she does this. And now this is what people like. You're getting immediate feedback on what people like and what they're not huge fans of. So you can sort of weave all of that stuff in as you're going further. This is a focus group that's right there for you, and then they're going to support you, they're going to cheer you on, and then you're going to use that to get to someplace else if you need to.
I love that you just said that, because that's what happened with our project. That's what happened with Creative Kill. I don't know if you guys ever watched an episode of Creative Kill, like the studio stuff, but we kill our guests at the end, right? I'm going to cut this little part out. We use just a little bit of practical, and most of it's just camera tricks and stuff like that. But we started this brand because the film industry took a fucking dump, right? And so we had our feature has been greenlit 3 times and then not greenlit. And then I finally went out and got private equity. I was like, I found some people that really, really did love it, but we had to establish ourselves. They knew me as an actor. I mean, I can sit there and tell everybody I'm an actor all day long, but as a filmmaker, or showing them exactly what passion we want to do, you know, that's really special. And I'm glad you touched on that, Stephanie, because when we cut this thing together, that's a huge thing for filmmakers. I want and I tell them that all the time. I'm like, this thing right here, this is where it's at. You know, this is where the future of media is. I hate to say it. You know, I love to watch. I go to the big screen every Tuesday and go see a movie. All right, because I'm a cinephile and I love movies. But at the same time, we all got to know this is where it's at. You know, this is where it's at. So, all right. Does anybody else have anything to say? No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna cut that part out.
Oh no, well, just really fast. Same thing goes for actors. If you want to get into acting, there's so many scams out there. You know, oh, join this agency, and they want you to get pictures for $2,000, or you know, go to the search, model search or whatever. It's all scam. It's all scam, like, so you just got to go out there and do it.
Tell you, I fired 2 agents. I fired 2 agents, and I hired my cousin, who's my attorney, and I hired my best friend, who's my business manager. And it's worked out better than any other agency before in my entire life. And because
you got to build a team. You build a team that you can trust, and and it helps to be friends too, and everything. So. We have a good team of like 8 people. Of course, about what is it? 8 people, 7, 8 people.
That's same with
well,
us.
I mean,
same with
Devontae and Mike, and they're basically 5, but 8. And we all get along, and we all wear multiple hats, but we get along and we gel together, and that's what matters.
That's fantastic.
If I could say this, we get along and we can argue and then go back to normal, where it doesn't turn into some big thing where we all hate each other. It's like
Same
whatever.
Thing with us.
Yeah.
Same thing with us. Same thing with my team, with Ben and Wolf and Morgan and Karl and all of them. We've gotten in arguments, and then we're like, okay, let's go. Let's just go on. It's time to go. So
yeah.
But
yeah, they want to fist fight.
So do you have any advice for any filmmakers?
These 2 want to fist fight every shoe we're on.
Well, they're brothers. They're brothers.
Yeah,
I understand.
I feel like find a crew that you can fight with, and then still continue to make movies after.
Yeah. Because here's my last thing to say.
Well, I was just gonna say my real quick thing was like, for indie filmmakers, my advice is, sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, and I feel like that's the same thing with the film communities around here. Like, oh, I don't need people telling me I don't have enough experience or all that stuff. Like, I'd rather make my own experience and get a group together of people that we can do things and create and
be able to pack stuff up when the police come,
Yeah, exactly. And then have a good story at the end.
When you're doing a guerrilla shot somewhere and y'all have to run.
Oh, that's oh, wait, I got a little quick story. So actually, when we did talk to the film community,
I got about 10 more minutes. Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. When we did reach out to the local film community and stuff when we were in our young 20s, we were making like a 48-hour contest or something. And I remember we went into the woods and we had one of those blank firing guns. And then everybody there was like, no, we can't do this. And me and James were like, oh, we're so used to doing this indie stuff. Just shoot the gun. It's not going to do anything. And then after we packed up and ran, and I remember like half the people on the side were like, those guys are crazy and whatever. Find a crew as crazy as you. That's all I say.
Oh no, we've done some nutty stuff here.
Yeah, getting permits. It's hard to get permits,
Yeah, like we
did get a permit. We got called out. The police came and said we were shooting a porn.
Oh yeah.
We were at a park, and Harold was he was in his underwear, but like he was covered. And someone said we were shooting a porno.
Yeah.
That was Karen.
Yeah.
Karen saw you and she was like, oh my God. It's funny. I got a Karen story to tell you guys real quick. This is hilarious. So I was on a show called The Cleaning Lady. Do you guys remember that thing? It was on Fox for a little while. I don't know if you ever saw it, but it was a network television show. And we were, I was a reoccurring cop in it, but they needed a body to be in a prison bus scene. So we basically were at the studio, which is they call it the Heights in Albuquerque because we're right by the mountain, right? So they have this ice rink that's right by the mountain where the ice skating, hockey, all that stuff's played. So they take this really long secluded road called Tramway up there. And it's really cool because they got cameras set up in the bus and everything. Anyway, so they stop at the ice rink and we all get out. We're all wearing our orange jumpsuits and stuff, right? They called the cops on all of us because they thought we were escaping.
Oh my.
Like people literally thought we were escaping, and the sheriff's department shows up because it says Las Vegas Police Department on the side of the bus. And everybody was like, I was like, did they not get permits for this? I mean, did they not let the local? And there was some Karen, I'm sure. You know, it's like if they don't understand what's going on, they're gonna go and tell everybody, you know, and especially with our genre, they don't like our shit at all. You know, we're the black sheep, literally, but I like being that. You know, that's my favorite thing. Well, awesome, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap this interview up again, right? I mean, we're going to, so let me start that again. I'm going to wrap this interview up, guys, right now. I want to thank all of you. I mean, you guys, James, Vincent, Mike, Stephanie, I want to tell you guys right now, I am highly recommending Serial to people. I love it. I'm a huge horror fanatic. And I think that this is something that's original, something that's cool. It's very well shot. I'm going to tell you boys that too. I think it's clean. It's beautiful. You know, you guys do great camera work in it. I love it. I love it. Coming from a filmmaker standpoint, I kind of touch on both from actor and filmmaker. And I don't kiss ass. I'll tell you. But I would never tell anybody their project's bad. I don't do that. That's not what I do. I don't shit on people's stuff. I just say it's not for me, but this is for me. I like it. I really do. So I just want to tell all four of you, congratulations and thank you. Thank you for giving us this, because this is what horror needs right now. Horror needs original shit, and it needs, you know, I would like some more horror series coming out like this. You know what I'm saying? So when you finish what's on SCREAMBOX, let us know and we'll send you the first episode of the next season, because it's already filmed, edited, scored, everything. That way you can kind of see what's to come if SCREAMBOX plays their cards right. Right. And I'd even like to follow back up with you guys on this on season 2. Let me get through this first season. And Ben, my co-host, is what he just subscribed to SCREAMBOX yesterday. So I told him, I was like, you need to watch this. This is a lot of fun, because he's a huge, and same with Wolf. He's my business partner, co-writer on everything. So anyway, we want to thank everybody today. We for the creators of Serial and the talent of Serial, you guys are wonderful. I just have to plug a quick sponsor real quick. We have Venom Haas. Venom Haas is the game Serial Killer, guys, and we'll be sending you guys a copy of that. I'll see if I can't get 4 of them. Sometimes they're nice, sometimes they depends if they are in stock or not. No, they're growing pretty quickly. It's like Cards Against Humanity. This is crazy. It's like Cards Against Humanity, but it's with so you pull a card and it says my asshole boss. And then everybody has 5 cards on the way to kill your asshole boss, right? And whoever has the best card, the player card wins. It's Cards Against Humanity with death or with murder. It's a lot of fun. And then we have to thank we thank our big sponsor. It's here in Albuquerque. We call it Duke City Toys. Thank you guys, Duke City Toys. We appreciate it. And we appreciate you guys for coming on Creative Kill today. Okay, guys? And anything we can do to help promote this, and just call us. Let us know. You guys got my number. I love it. And I'm gonna you'll see this kind of like I did with the fetus, and then I've done with some other stuff that I'm truly passionate about, that I really did like those projects. I'm gonna push this all day for you guys. Okay. Thank you so much. And hopefully you're feeling better, and have a good holiday, and take care of yourself. Yeah, you guys too. Oh, and then one more thing to all 4 of you. Oh, here, Mike wants to touch on something. Go ahead, Mike.
I was just gonna say, if you're ever in upstate New York, you know, maybe we could fit you in somehow as an actor.
Yeah, we definitely would. I would love that. I would love that. And so, guys, wait. Who would you want to die by, Mabel or Harold? Yeah. Mabel. Mabel. Okay. Mabel. Definitely. Yeah. Okay. Mabel. I like Mabel. But I like Harold. I'm sorry. I like him. Like, I don't want to be like, you know what, Harold? Let's you and I go have a beer and sit down and just let's get this thing worked out. Maybe. Yeah. Harold just needs someone to love him. Yeah. Mabel wouldn't have to be so high strung if you acted like a man at all.
Harold needs a hug. And you know, that's all he needs.
That's but anyway, great. Well, we always close our show with telling you you guys this, okay? Here at Creative Kill, the guest always has a kill experience, and all 4 of you guys, guess what? You're one of the lucky ones. You're one of the lucky ones.
We survived.
We survived.
Duke City Toys for new and used toys, games, and collectibles. Star Wars, Marvel, DC, board games, Albuquerque's largest selection of wrestling collectibles, and so much more. When it comes to toys, we don't play. Duke City Toys.